Hello everyone, and welcome to the Little Blue Fly. In today's video, we have a couple things that will be happening. I will share a brief demonstration on how to use transfer medium to transfer an image on to a surface, and then I will be going into my decor haul. It is a small haul, but I have many, oh gosh, the Fairytale items that I picked up are just everything. But anyhow, Facebook Marketplace, antique stores, an estate sale, and then also I have some items that I purchased from Home Goods as well. So I have some items that are fall and items that are outside of fall. It's just a mixture of different things in today's video. And before we get started, I would like to thank you all for continuing to help support my channel with those thumbs up and the comments. We are doing fabulous. So that being said, let's begin, shall we? Okay, so this is the transfer medium here in my left hand, and this is just a plain thin piece of board that I will be using. This is very thick and tacky, more so than just the regular Mod Podge. I'm going to keep that upside down. Is it going to stay? Okay, so I made sure to really put some of this medium close to the outside edges because it's very important when you brush this on that you go all the way out to the edges, because you want your image to fully transfer onto your surface. And if anything is left without some of this medium on it, the image just will be unable to transfer on. Now, what I did not do in this video is I did not put my transfer over my surface and pre-cut it, but no worries. So this is the image I decided to use. Wonderful, I love all these colors. I felt these apples could actually be used fall and even through Christmas. Now normally I would not apply the medium on yet. I would put this piece of this image on this surface and then just press down on it and then cut the shape accordingly to my surface. But no worries, we're just going to put the board to the side, and I will be adding some more medium onto this image. Okay, now this started out just being a napkin. A pretty napkin that I probably picked up from Home Goods, and I took it to Staples and made a photocopy of an 11 by 14, and that's it. And then I just cut around the edges, you know, the excess that did not have the print on it. And now I am placing transfer medium on this image just to get a good transfer. But make sure that you don't have like a buildup of this, because otherwise it is just a mess. This is it's super sticky. Now it's very tacky. Some people might like to just, you know, work it one, you know, to the left and or to the right, and just little by little place it on. But I just didn't do that, pretty much. I'm just using the end to my scissors and working out any little bubbles that might be in there. Okay, so I have that off to the side drying, and this is one that I actually put together yesterday. And I have a bowl of water with just an old washcloth. I cut all the excess paper off. Then you just squeeze out as much of the water as you can. Now again, all this started with the napkin. And I'm just going to wipe over this this surface. And as you can see, the image is starting to come through. This is the messy part. And you just, as you can see, the image, what am I trying to say here? Pretty much, okay, the image just starts coming through little by little. And you just work in circles with the washcloth, but making sure not to press too hard. Because if you do, you're going to lift up your transfer. So lightly go around in circles, and it will just, you'll see the material will just start building up. And we just keep going around and going around. And then eventually I will not be using the washcloth anymore because I have more control using my fingers. And it is okay for some of the transfer to come up because then it will give it a more aged look and feel. You'll see, I'll point it out during the video. So right here, see some of the transfer lifted, and it's perfectly fine. It just gives it the aged look and feel. And now with my finger or fingers, I just keep going over it. And it will continue to lift up. Because what we're trying to do here is get rid of all the film that we see on it. It's like a white film, and we're trying to remove all of that. Okay, so I was able to remove all of it from the left-hand side, and I just want to go over it again here briefly. Use the washcloth at the beginning to get the majority of it all, to get it off. This one's nice. It actually started rolling, staying in one piece. It's great when that happens. That's not too often. So at the beginning, the washcloth, then use your fingers so that you can have more control. And when the paper starts drying out, just dab it again with the washcloth to make the paper moist, and then just continue the process, going over it with your fingers. And then when you see that the transfer's starting to lift too much, then just stop. Don't go over it anymore. And then you just pull off the excess from the sides. Okay, so we were able to get a good amount off. You hardly see any of the white film, and the little that you do see, no worries. We have age spots here and there, which is perfect. because now what we're going to do is, this is the best part. I call it making the image look like candy. And we will be using this Polycrylic. It can be purchased from, oh goodness, anywhere. Lowe's, Walmart, Amazon. And I will be using the clear gloss. They have a semi-gloss, they have a high gloss, but for this project today, I will just be using the clear gloss. And I am getting low. It's by Minwax. And the little white cloudiness that you still see on it, the Polycrylic, it will be taking it away. And I like to put 2 to 3 coats on my projects. Now I will share the difference here. I'm just going to do one side for right now, and then I will go over to the other. But I just wanted to share the difference with you. When using poly, make sure you don't have too much on your brush. Otherwise, it will leave behind a milky residue, and you really don't want that. So this side, see, it has a nice shine to it, and this has more of a matte. And if you prefer the matte, well, they do have a matte Polycrylic, so you could go ahead and use that. Personal preference. So now I will be going over the entire image. I let it dry probably for about 20 minutes. And then I will apply the second coat. So again, this is just a very thin piece of wood that I cut, actually had my husband cut into an oval shape. And the image is a napkin that, a print that I really liked. And so I went and placed it on the copy machine at Staples and made an 11 by 14 copy. Now I'm just going to go ahead and let this dry. And then add the other coats. And you see down at the bottom and the very top up there, there is no image there. And that it's because it wasn't tall enough. They couldn't make a taller copy for me, nor could I. So, but that's okay, because what we are doing, you won't even notice that. Okay, so that's off and drying, and now we are going to start our little decor haul over here on the table in the sunroom. This was a thrifted find, very old, back from the 1940s, possibly 50s. I've been looking for landscaping prints, but I'm super picky. And I mean, how magical is this piece here? Very fairy tale. It reminds me of Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother's cottage. You know, as she walks through the woods and comes out into the clearing into Grandma's house. And there's a little stream that goes right through Grandma's yard. And they probably go down there and dip their little feet and toes in there on those warm days. This has such just a fairy tale feel to me. And now normally I don't go with lighter frames. Let me show you the back. The company. Windsor, out of Illinois. So again, the individuals that I did purchase this from, what they have, the history on it is like 1940, around the 50s. They had this for many, many years. The colors, the greens and the blues, but there isn't just one, because this is the back of Grandma's house. So now we have to see the front of Grandmother's house. And here you can see Little Red Riding Hood comes out of the forest into the clearing to Grandmother's perfect shake roof cottage with climbing roses nestled up against the hills. Just to me, many of you might be getting a different feel, but to me, this is a Little Red Riding Hood all of the way. And again, the cream frame with the whitewash, actually it's like a natural tone with the whitewash is perfect for me. I don't see any need to change this at all. The greens and the browns, it's just so vivid. It's like, you know, the picture really pushes out to you. Okay, so I also went out and I needed some more books, old books. I was drawn to this one because I love all the aged goodness right there up front on the spine. It's a nice neutral color. Most of these books were just a couple dollars. It's in really good condition. Now this, I loved this part. It's just right at the beginning. It has this, I know there's a name to it. I don't know, but it's just, you know, a thin sheet of paper over this image, like a protector. And what gorgeous work right here. Old books, they're such treasures. All the pages are intact. It's in great shape. I was looking to see if there was the actual price, but I know most of them were $1 or $2, with the exception of one. This one, Virginia and the Virginians, I thought, well, since I'm in Northern Virginia now, this would work, very much so. All the aged goodness right there on the spine. This book has stories, many of them, inside and out for sure. This one caught my eye because of Poems for Little Ears. I thought, oh, okay, this is perfect for my home. Now this one did cost a little bit more. I believe I did pay $8, and as you can see, it has been very loved. Look at that gorgeous artwork. Blues and pencils. All the pages are intact. And Poems for Little Ears by Kate Cox Goddard. Hurry, peek inside this book. Turn the pages, have a look. You will find the things you do, done by other children too. See the way they think and play. Keep happy all the day. There are poems here, my dears, written just for little ears. Ah, such goodness. So many more I will be sharing hopefully in the near future when I can get this reading channel in place. Poems for Little Ears. And this one right here, the reason I wanted to get this one is just the shape and the size. I liked how it was very thin. It was different. Now I do have another book, but I have to get to looking for this book. I'll find it here shortly, and hopefully, and I will be sharing this with you. It is a fabulous book. But now we are going to continue moving along, sharing other decor pieces. But first, the Tootsie Roll Pop story. You see, when I was a little girl, I used to go to this market called Frago's Market, right around the corner from our house. Beverly loved candy. She still loves candy. Well, Mr. Frago, for every wrapper that I would open up, if I seen an Indian shooting a star, he would give me a free lollipop. But it had to be the full Indian and the full star, or it didn't count. And it was very rare to come across one of those. So you felt pretty special I felt pretty special when I found the Indian shooting the star. So what I have done with my children since they were little, we still do it to this day, and even their friends, different families that have, we've made friends with, they do the same with their children now. When they open up a wrapper, if they see the Indian shooting the star, I give them a quarter. My best friend from California one time sent me some, and another friend, her children sent over 7 to me, and for each one they get a quarter. This is a fabulous tradition to start with your family, with your own children or grandchildren. It's the simple things, right? The little simple things. Okay, here we have home goods. It is a tablecloth. This one is the 70-inch round for $16.99. It said compare at $24.99. Well, when I recently went to April Cornell's website, they have these. I was just figuring, okay, maybe these were last year's or something. No, they're on her site right now, and they are way more than $24.99, and definitely the $16.99. This was a steal. Perfect yellow and all the fall colors. So I will be placing, well, let's wait. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit. Okay, here on the table, I will be placing this 70-inch round. But then I purchased another. And this one is a square, 54 by 54. It will go on top of the round one. Now, some people like to have 2 different patterns, or even using the same patterns, or it's just as gorgeous. I just really am drawn to this yellow and the green and the burnt orange. I think it's going to make for a very nice table setting that I will be sharing probably this week here in the sunroom. Now there were a few sets still available at Home Goods. And they also had another set that was brown, not the yellow. Okay, this next piece was actually thrifted from an antique store. Of course, it's the gold and all the different, the weaving. I know there's a name for it. I can't think of it right now. But the crisscross type pattern. I don't know. Do you call it waffling, or I'm just not even remembering at all. But I actually have an idea of what I will be doing with this piece very soon. And no, it will not be a floral arrangement. It will be something else. Okay, this was picked up from an estate sale. Just an old fireplace broom, very old, and it's in great condition for its age. I know this is over 40 years for sure. And they're just recently sold their home, and they're downsizing. $1. That's it. $1 for this wonderful find. I was actually able to, here's the tag, $1 each. I was able to pick up a few items for just $1. Now, I did not share, but at this estate sale, I picked up a brand new Instapot. I've always wanted one. I want to try that Instapot cheesecake that everyone is talking about. But anyhow, I picked that up for just $30 it was brand new. And this is a wax warmer, very large one. Still on this, $1. I just have to clean all the wax off of it. Great price. Then I have these silver, very tarnished taper holders. There's 2 of them for $1. Can never have enough silver in a home. And these little silver shells, these are for our tea bags. You place your tea bags inside these. And she gifted those to me. So this pottery bowl, it's pretty much brand new. It doesn't look like it's ever been used. I left it out in the Jeep for too long, so my wax sort of melted into the bowl. So I have to clean that out. But I love, I want to start bringing in different types of pottery into the kitchen, more of it. Now on the bottom, what does it say here? Does that say Marshall? Marshall pottery for $4.99. Well, this has to be older because I just can't see someone being able to pick that up for $4.99. Not these days. But $1. And then this sweet little fella, he's very heavy. He was also, I picked him up from the estate sale as well. And now we will be having many adventures with our new friend. So I purchased these from an antique store, and these are tip trays. They're called tip trays. You know, when we go to a restaurant, we eat out and we leave our tips inside a tray. Well, these trays surely, I've never seen any tip trays like these when I have went to dine out. Perfectly aged, in great condition. Love the greens and the yellows and the different florals. They're all in really good condition. There were 4 of them, so I scooped all 4 up. These are great to put like candles on, you know, a little taper candle on, or little bits of potpourri, jewelry. Oh gosh, multi-purpose for sure. This has felt down at the bottom, definitely vintage, and it's called Copper Craft Guild. They're in great condition. They are taper holders. One is already on the table. Love the copper. Can never have enough taper holders. Really, it's nice and deep in there too. Some taper holders are very shallow, but those are nice. Okay, so this was actually a garage sale find for $5. Right now, it's just a bit of what my mother would say, a bit of a menagerie. And it's just kind of everywhere. You know, the green gourd in the back sort of is looking like a pickle, if you ask me, not so much like a gourd. Now, I will be taking this arrangement apart. And I love the berries and the leaves, and the pumpkin is just a gorgeous color. So I already have an idea of, I have an idea of what I'm going to do with this and items I will be adding. But I thought, you can't beat the price, $5. This is a very heavy concrete tray. These trays are nice to fill with moss, with the very vibrant green moss. And you can place anything inside the tray on top of the moss. These are so, you could do so many different things with these, but I like when I see moss inside these. Okay, so this is something I've already shared. It's an oval frame, a vintage frame that I thrifted. I have 2 of them, and I believe I thrifted these for $5. I just wanted to share with you all what I managed to do with this piece. So the transfer that we just recently did, I placed inside the frame. I couldn't be more in love with this piece. All the yellows and reds and greens, and the aging is just perfect on this piece. And I can't wait to share with you all what I have decided to do with this. And there will be 2 of them.